A Plaguelands Media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another book review today. So cheers, of course. Now, ever since I was a kid, teenager, absolutely fascinated with Warhammer and Warhammer 40k. The miniatures were freaking awesome. The lore behind them was great. I was more drawn to the Warhammer side of things as opposed to the futuristic 40k stuff, but it's still really cool and really fascinating. Yes, Games Workshop have made a lot of missteps in the past few years that have drawn me out of the interest in the hobby. I no longer kind of watch the matches and things on YouTube. However, I'm still fascinated by the lore. And that is one thing that Games Workshop got right. They got the lore of Warhammer right. I would even argue that Age of Sigmar is still freaking awesome. And 40k, they absolutely nailed the lore of 40k with the Horus Heresy and whatnot. And that's what I'm kind of reviewing today. I'm reviewing book 1 in the Eisenhorn trilogy, Xenos. Eisenhorn being an inquisitor, and their job is to basically stamp out traces of chaos in the universe. This is science fiction. This is action. A little bit of adventure. It is pretty much everything you want in a book. It is told from the perspective of Eisenhorn himself, so any situations he finds himself in the book, you know he's going to get out of. That doesn't detract from the story itself. A lot of the things in here were really unexpected. I was really quite shocked where Dan Abnett took this character. It was a lot of fun and an absolute joy to read. And I would recommend this to people who are stepping into Warhammer 40k novels for the first time. There are Inquisitors, there are Space Marines, there's Imperial Guard, there's Chaos. It's basically everything you want in a Warhammer 40k story, wrapped into one with an ending that you just know it's leading into the second and third book of the trilogy. So, with all of that said, I will put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video for those of you that are going to continue with it. I don't remember the names, I don't remember the planets, all of that stuff, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over all of that. There are a ton of characters, and every character in this book is fascinating and fleshed out. So you're not getting like throwaway characters here. These are major freaking characters. Some of them live, some of them die. It was just awesome. It was a roller coaster. I finished it last night and just absolutely gobsmacked how much I enjoyed this book. It was fantastic. So with that said, if you don't want the actual plot line spoiled, and I'm probably not going to even spoil it because I can't remember half of the shit that happens in this thing. This thing was just amazing. Go watch another video. They're all awesome. But if you do want to know the basic plot points of this, then stick around for the next episode of...
Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. People.
All right. let's get into Xenos, book 1 of the Eisenhorn trilogy. Now, this book starts on the planet Hubris, where a ton of people are in cryogenic stasis, and this character whose name escapes me, I want to say Igor or something along those lines, but there are so many characters in this book that it's, unless I write them down as I'm reading it, it's going off to the wayside. He comes to this planet for a purpose, and his purpose is to secure this artifact and basically open all these cryogenic stasis chambers before their time is up, so the life essence will soak into this chaos artifact. I want to call it Pontius. I'm probably not doing justice to it. And if I fuck shit up, please leave a comment down below and just tell me, dude, you done fucked up there. Just, it helps the channel and it helps me get shit right. So, this artifact doesn't actually come to him. Eisenhorn and his team do. And there is this huge kind of battle on this planet where one of Eisenhorn's team is killed. And Eisenhorn kind of pieces shit together that leads him to another planet where this dude came from. So he takes his team to this other planet, and we find out that there is this house, the Glor house, and there's some shady shit going on with these people. While investigating this planet, he comes across this pleasure worker called Beckwin. And Beckwin has this innate ability to blank psychic powers. And Eisenhorn himself has a little bit of psychic ability. He ends up recruiting Beckwin, and with the rest of his team, Midas, and I believe there's Amos and Loink, he decides to investigate this house of Glor. While this happens, his apartments get raided. And while they think it's the enemy, it's actually another Inquisitor who has come here, Voke, and he has been investigating the House of Glor at the same time. So their paths have kind of overlapped, but their methods are very, very different. And they team up. Eisenhorn goes in disguise to the House of Glor. And while investigating, gets discovered to be an Inquisitor. And he gets tortured by this guy called Locke, who is kind of like a pilot. There are a lot of evil characters in this, and I'm not going to remember all of their names. But Locke tortures him to the point of almost death. And this is like a third of the way into this freaking book, where when he is rescued by Midas and Voker and whatnot, the nerves in his face have been dismantled, so he can no longer smile, and he has to be kind of repaired because of the nerve damage. It's actually quite a harrowing part of this book, and something I did not expect. So with the clues he has gotten from the House of Glor, which has now been decimated by the Imperial Guard because he called in this fleet, he follows Glor discovers that Glor had in his effects this chaos book called the Necrotech, which he has destroyed, and kind of Glor is going after it, and it takes them into warp space, which is a whole other thing that I cannot even begin to describe because I don't really fully understand all the Warhammer 40k shit. It's this race called the Sithuri, who are this chaos-bound race that have bound themselves to the Necrotech. And so they go there and they fight this battle on this warp planet, which is all kind of fucking messed up and shit. And come out of that with more knowledge. The Necrotech has been destroyed, and now the Glor family lock, and on this planet, Eisenhorn actually kills a freaking Chaos Space Marine called Mandragore, who was a Chaos Space Marine of Slaanesh. If you don't know who Slaanesh is, because you've got no fucking idea what I'm talking about, and I do not blame you for that. Slaanesh is the chaos god of hedonism. So Eisenhorn literally kills a Chaos Space Marine. That's how badass this fucking guy is. He follows the remnants of this this group to another planet of the this alien race, the Sarathi, whatever they're fucking called, and he's accompanied by like 5 Inquisitors now. The Death Watch chapter of Space Marines. I mean, when you've got the Death Watch chapter, you're like, shit is ramping up to another freaking level. They go to this planet. Now, they have one of these guys as a captive. This dude who knows what is going on. And before Eisenhorn can interrogate him, this other Inquisitor, Molitor, interrogates him by literally, and I'm not fucking joking about this, flaying the skin from his body and yet keeping him alive. This is like Buffy the Vampire Slayer shit at this moment. For those of you that don't know, Willow flayed the skin from Warren in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, get your nerd shit on and watch it or research it. It's all good. They get to this planet. They go through these Tetra gates or whatever. The Sarathi have this ability to warp space and time, so you don't know what the fuck is going on. Eisenhorn, in his wisdom, takes the soldiers that were with him on the first planet to this one because he says, yeah, they've experienced it. I want them by my side. He goes and he realizes these Chaos guys have just fucked everything over for the Sarathi, trying to find a second copy of the Necrotech that was translated in their alien language. There is a huge battle, and we find out that the guy who flayed their prisoner, this Inquisitor called Molitor, is basically working behind the scenes here. So we've got a scheme within a scheme within a scheme. Eisenhorn saves the day, of course, but holy shit, at a price of almost an entire fleet of Imperial warships. And this will lead into the second book of the series, but holy fucking shit. Does Dan Abnett know how to write a Warhammer 40k novel that feels like you are literally reading a narrative campaign. It was absolutely phenomenal. One of the best Warhammer 40k novels I've read outside of the Horus Heresy series. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. But this book was an absolute... I'm not going to say it was a ton of fun, because it wasn't fun. It was tense. It was like reading a science fiction thriller. Every chapter, you're on the edge of your seat. And here's the thing. They give you what's happening in the chapter at the beginning. For example, they literally tell you what is happening in the chapter. And it is still so well written that you are literally on the edge of your seat reading this thing. It was fantastic. Eisenhorn is an amazing character in the Warhammer 40k universe, and I strongly recommend everyone who is into Warhammer 40k to go and check this trilogy out. There are more books, and Dan Abnett has written more Warhammer 40k stories. He is one of the best Games Workshop authors. He's up there with Josh Reynolds. Just go and check his stuff out. I highly recommend it. So that is Eisenhorn Xenos. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all that good stuff. But most importantly, drink. If you enjoyed this video, please go and watch the rest of our Plaguelands Media stuff. But do me a huge favor. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe. And of course, read a fucking book, people.